You like the minutes? You
Oh,
like the
yeah,
minutes?
good, great.
I'm refining it for you, it's really cool.
Yeah.
I get excited about things.
Hello, sir.
6 o'clock.
Is it?
Oh, she only.
Place called the flash.
No, I read it.
I'm gonna get in that.
Okay, you get in that and then I'll say.
All right, I'll call the meeting to order. Please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Oh, thank
Okay, I'll start off with public input. I believe Mr. Snow, you, Mr. Snow,
I am.
would you like to talk to us about something?
Well, I guess I talked to Chris. I own a piece of land down Tumbledown Dip. And the road conditions from Camp Road to my gate, which is directly down the hill, have deteriorated terribly, such that I am not able to continue forestry improvement work that we've been doing for the last, since '96. So I just want to use some of my own gravel to effect some repairs on the road. It's currently, water is running down the middle of the road as opposed to the sides. And just put a crown back in the road and slight ditches. I don't want to improve the road to the point that everybody wants to go down there. And as you know, we have a lot of people that use GPS as their means of getting around. We've hauled a few out there that were going to Wolfboro but didn't make it. So just want to fix it up enough that we can keep working.
Have you talked to your neighbors about what your intentions are?
Mark and Mary Ann, Leclerc?
Yeah.
I was waiting to speak to you guys before I even bothered anybody. And I don't know who owns the land on the other side of the road now. I don't know, a few years ago somebody purchased it and they have put a gate up and all.
So let me just make sure I understand. You want to use your own resources, your own
Absolutely.
gravel and whatever you're going to use to spread it, and just to.
I'm gonna have to put an excavator in.
Okay, but it'll be to just recreate the crown.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I mean, a lot of the basement layer is truly the basement layer that goes all the way down. It is a lot of rock.
Yeah.
But we're trying to get in there with, log trucks would have a hard time right now. And although I just completed another management plan this last winter on the land, and in that there is a recommendation to harvest some hemlock to thin out an area that is, I don't see it's feasible. It's not, I mean, it's way in the north part of the property, and I've always left it alone because I've considered it was good habitat. If they want to, they've gone and looked, we've got some woolly algid in there and the hemlock, and we've got another disease that I'm not really familiar with that they pointed out, and they say thinning it and letting the air get through will improve the longevity of the forest.
Okay.
Which is the ultimate goal. The land, as you guys probably are aware, has a conservation easement on it, and you know we're just trying to keep on. I'm passing it on to my son and family, and he's of like mind.
Do you have any questions for him?
No,
Rich?
I would just mention that, talk to the Leclercs, tell them what you're going to, talk to Mark and
Marion,
let them know what you're going to do. Because you might have water going down their property, if you're on the downhill side. They're on the downhill side.
Well, right now, the water's going there, and always has. There's, just beyond Camp Road, on the Dick Road, there's quite a little bump in it, a thank you ma'am, as they used to call them. And the truckers have been the ones that complained about it, particularly going in when they're empty. That if they're going a little too fast, they get a hell of a jolt. The rest of it goes the same place anyway. If it's going down, if you're looking down the hill and ditches on either side, it's going to go just before my gate. There's an old stone culvert, and I don't want to disturb that in any way. So we're going to be going by over that, not putting any material there. It doesn't need it. There's been enough silt run down to keep that area pretty filled in. And any improvement that I do to the road seems to encourage people who have a hard time getting rid of tires. I'm actually thinking about putting a camera up because there's enough. There are some bad people.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Do you think, do you have any other?
Nope, just let the Claires know about the water coming
Yeah.
their way, if you're gonna help it go their way.
Yeah.
As long as they change water flow one bit. And I'm sure Marianne will have no problem. We have common interest in that I cross a portion of their land to get to my main road, and I've been maintaining that. And we have an agreement that when they're conducting forest operations, they can use my landings and roads so they don't disturb Camp Road. Because if you send a bunch of logs, particularly tractor trailers up, if somebody's coming down, they,
Not enough room.
yeah.
Right, I don't have a problem with it, and I think it's pretty much a consensus, as long as you talk to your neighbors and they're okay. If they balk at it, then please come back and
Let's
let us
figure it out.
know.
I mean, I can't be destroying my vehicles going in there.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
Right now, I can't pull a trailer with my tractors on it down the road. The rocks are pretty bad. And a lot of it has to do with people coming in from the Wolfboro end in four-wheelers or the high-stepping trucks, and they get to that point, if that road's nice and smooth, they romp on it coming up and they just spin their wheels. And that just makes, it's maintenance.
Is your gate surviving?
Well, this one is, this is the fourth one, but when I put it in, I went right after it. And it's in 5 feet with good steel. And spent a lot of time welding that gate up. I don't know if you've been down there, but it's fairly substantial.
I saw the earlier ones.
All right, if you don't have any other questions, I'll accept a motion to authorize them. If you want to make that motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that Mr. Snow can.
I'll let you know how it comes out.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So,
Okay.
about it, and again, if you have any issues with the neighbors, please,
So I don't even know who owns the land on the other side.
well, then I don't think they'll complain then.
Yeah.
You got a comment?
Yes, my nephew is the one that owns the land on the other side. And I have a number for you, Mr. Snow.
Oh, I'd love to call. First off, I'd like to meet my neighbors. You say you have some?
My nephew, Skip Marion, is the one that lives across from you. That bought Baker's land.
Nobody lives.
No, he's just, but I mean, he bought that property.
Okay, he's got
And he-
80-something acres.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's his number.
Skip.
Skip Marion.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tom, thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other public comments? Brian?
Frank Fraser, Lyford Road. A little bit of history. In 1999, my dear friend and neighbor, Bob Heinlein, who was a selectman, said, "Hey, Frank, how would you like to go see parts of Brookfield that nobody gets to see?" And I said, "Sure." And it turns out that I went with him and Julian Siebert, who used to, his brother-in-law, who used to live in the house right next door, the historic inn right next door, putting flags on veterans' graves. And what they were really doing is trying to get somebody to take it over from them. And I went with them and I did it. And I have done it every year since then. And I want to thank the current selectmen and all the selectmen over those 25 years for the privilege of doing this. And I think in a lot of cases, when you go into some of these older graveyards, you're the only one that visits those graves in the year. And the honor our veterans by putting the flags on. It's been an honor. But 2 years ago, we had, he's not here tonight, but Bob Servasic stepped up and did a wonderful research project. He actually found a few veterans that weren't on my list that I had not been putting flags on. And Bob has really got a passion for this. So I'm here tonight to let you know that I have passed the torch to Bob. I have given him the flags. I understand he's actually already gone out and put the flags out this year. So he's starting his journey on doing this. But he needs, I've always been appointed as a selectman's representative for this purpose. So I'm going to ask you to let you know what's happened, that I passed it to Bob. I think a little wisdom is when it's time to do something, it's time to do something. So I've done that. And Bob's got all I had enough flags for this year, so he's got them. And he's got the information on how to order more flags. And we compared our lists and we talked about graveyards. We had a great time. And I highly recommend the selectmen that you appoint Bob to be your official representative. And by the way, he's already done it this year, but going forward. So I just want to let you know that change has happened, and I want to again thank the town for the honor I've had. And I'm his backup, by the way. So it's Bob and I together. But
Before
anyway.
we do anything with Bob, I want to personally thank you for that 25 years of service. And I had the honor as well last year to do some of them with you last year.
Yeah.
And it's a very unique experience because
Yeah.
you're standing over a historical grave of someone that served this country 200 years ago, 250 years ago.
Rich went with me one year
Yep,
too,
sure
so
did.
Rich went with me, so he knows it. And Bob, I'm sure would.
Oh, yeah, I'll be.
Yeah, you can take a chance. He's already done it this year, but you can go. You can go next year. Yeah, all right. There you go.
All right.
All right. Anyway, so I just want to let you know. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
So I will make a motion that we go along with Frank's recommendation to appoint Bob as a designated representative for placing flags on historical memorial graves in the town of Seabrook.
Brookfield.
I'm sorry. I got the Brook right. All right, motion's been made.
I'll second that.
Get a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, Frank.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Frank.
All right, any other public input? Okay, let's move on to meeting minutes. We have two sets in front of us. One is the May 6th public session. I've gone through and I have no issues with the minutes as presented. Any issues?
Nope.
Rich?
Nope. I'll make a motion we accept them as presented May 6th.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You approving both or just the
That's
first?
just the public.
Okay, just check.
We also have in front of us a set of non-public minutes from the same date. And I believe all of us have had a chance to go through them. I didn't have any comments.
No comments.
All right, do I have another motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the non-public meeting minutes from May 6th. I'll second that motion.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are approved. Okay, let's go through board and committee reports. Mary Lou, you look like you're anxious to stand up and talk.
Why not? Thank you, gentlemen. So just a townhouse update. Jen Ledbetter received a phone call from the painter. I think you all got the email. I'm not sure you got it in. I think she had a bad email address for you.
I did find it.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Indicating that because of the charming crummy weather we're having right now, there would be no painting on the front of the townhouse for the next week to week and a half. But that the window sill has been repaired according to one of her emails. They did power wash the front of the building, so we look all clean and beautiful again. But it was suggested that we apply bug spray to the ceiling, crevices, corners, around the bulletin board soon. Otherwise, the bugs, the cobwebs, and the dirt will soon return. So could this go on a handyman project list? Yes, ma'am. Okay. And then for Heritage Commission, again, I'd like to, on behalf of the Heritage Commission, thank Frank Frazier for his 25 years of placing flags. I know he gave me a copy of his original list and it was on the back of an envelope, as I recall. Bob Zerbasic was happy to take this over for Frank. As we all are aware, Bob has done extensive research on all our graveyards and the people laid to rest in them. He wrote me this morning that he has now finished placing all 80 flags on the veteran's grave. I wonder if I can get through this. His comment to me was, going back to these graveyards, 2 years, feels like visiting old friends. He's the right person to do this job. One other thing. Jan Ledbetter, before she left, sent me an email one day and said, I heard about this grant, Moose Plate grant. The town's gotten it before. So I had a few minutes, so I wrote the letter for you, Mary Lou, and I said, great, I'll sign it. So I've sent it in. I don't know what we will hear or if we will hear. The end date was last Friday, I believe. So I checked the box tonight, nothing yet, but hopefully we'll get some money. And what we would like to use it for would be to save the town the $2,500 we have in the budget to get an electronic copy of the town book. So hopefully that will help, and hopefully we get it. Just a reminder that the Heritage Commission was going to do an event on Memorial Day, but that event has been canceled. So our next scheduled event is one of the year's favorites, the annual ice cream social on Saturday, July 12th. And we'll see what we can do. Are you up for games? Or are you too busy? No, games. Don't worry your pretty little head about it. We'll do something.
I can give you the whole box of stuff.
And I think it'll help.
No, but I
We'll see
still
what we
have
can
toys
do.
in there and whatever. If you
Okay,
want.
we'll see what we can do. So that's it for me. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Mary Lou. Frank, do you want to speak conservation?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things. First off, Conservation and Heritage co-sponsored a wonderful talk on mushrooms that was well attended, and I think a lot of people that attended it, like 30 people there, right? Something like that.
37.
37 people,
Yeah.
so it was a great talk. Conservation also sponsored at its last meeting a talk from the Moose Mountain Regional Greenways, the MMRG, on how conservation easements. It was an educational talk. What it means to conserve your property and an easement versus selling it and da-da-da. And that was also well attended. So those went well. And lastly, the first, and this is mainly for Ed, the first batch of the new signage for the town preserve was sealed and handed over to Bob Servasic, my guess is they've already been put up, I don't know if you
Yes,
said
they
it.
have.
So there's more to come, and Bob and I also discussed the first kiosk, which will be at the Lyford Road entrance, so that's now on my list. Now that I don't have to do the flags, I've got this other stuff to do, so I'm on it.
Is the intent on that kiosk to use the pressure treated?
No,
they're already there?
you need to talk to Bob. The intent is for me to go up there with my tractor to do the road work we talked about, but also to pull those 2 posts out and move them so the kiosk is closer to the road so people driving by.
Okay, so you
can-
reuse the boards and.
We'll reuse it if they're not rotted in the ground, but pull them out and see what they're like. Because they're tucked away and you would never see the kiosk if it was back there. It
Right.
needs to be closer to the road, so that's the plan.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Frank, any question, Frank? It's a little loud, because I know. You said you do some road work with your tractor?
No.
No,
What'd you say?
I'm saying that I'm going to go up there and run my tractor up and down the road a little bit to help with some of the spots. So I'm not going to do road work. I'm not a town. I'm an individual. I'm a private individual.
And that's exactly my concern. If it's the conservation district, if it's a conservation commission, and you're close to that, that's town maintenance.
Oh, no, we have nothing to do
we
with it.
haven't even
No.
talked about that in the conservation
No.
commission.
Okay.
In any of our meetings.
Okay.
No, the folks, the Top of the Hill Farm that mow
Yep.
they wind up doing in order to get access.
Yes, they're allowed to, right?
Yeah.
They're allowed to.
But, right, so, do you have a concern about me doing it a little?
Any of the town doing it. The town.
I'm not the town.
I understand,
Yeah.
make sure you don't have a conservation hat
No.
on.
No. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have mentioned it in the same breath, so
Yeah.
thank you for catching me on that. I do know the subtlety.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Gertie, do you have anything for the cemetery?
Just that I don't know whether anybody's noticed, but one of the gates up at the new cemetery has got a little issue. It was run into by Bartley Tree Company in the winter when they were trimming the maple trees. So they are in the process of getting in touch with their insurance company in order to pay for the damage. We unfortunately need to give them a check to start the process, and then they'll reimburse us as things go.
Do you want me to give you the check to you or am I to mail it?
If you'll mail it, that would be great.
Okay. To the fence
To the
company?
fence company.
So we would front the money and the
Yes.
umbrella will reimburse us
Yes.
once they submit the
Mhm.
check to the insurance.
They want to make sure, the insurance company wants to make sure that the improvements or that it's fixed instead of us using the money for something else.
Okay, but that's unacceptable, there's no cost to us, is what it amounts to.
Net, no.
No, no cost to
No
us.
issues with that. Then I would say that's, we probably should make it a formal motion.
There's a check is in here, in this batch, to pay for the,
Okay, so we'll approve
It's
it
in
when we
the
go
house.
through the manifest, so,
yeah.
okay. Yep, we're good with that. Anything else, Bertie? Great,
No,
thank you.
Rich and I will get the flags up shortly and.
We can do it tomorrow, if it's not raining.
Rain? What rain?
I'll give you a buzz. I'll give you a buzz.
It's done with Thursday, it's supposed to be nor'easter.
Yes, we'll do it Wednesday before it rains.
Yeah.
And flowers will be planted up there shortly. They're
They
talking
did
to
do a
Ross,
nice
so-
job at the memorial up there.
They,
It looks really good.
Yeah, Corey did a good job.
Corey did that?
Yeah.
That reminds me. I spoke to Corey about the Hackett site and what it would take to mow around the cellar hole now that it's exposed so that it doesn't get overgrown again. And he felt that it would be about $200. There's a lot of stumps, little stumps, the size of your wrist. So he's got to maneuver around them and it's not going to be real easy. But he thought it'd be about $200 every time he does it. In my mind, I'm thinking there should be probably 3 times, May, July, and September. That should be enough to keep the growth down, and eventually, over the years, the grass will become fuller, thicker, and the weeds will go away. We can beat them down that way. So, we're pretty tight on the budget from the town standpoint, so I'm kind of looking to conservation
You got
and
money?
heritage.
We got money.
Good, he's got money.
So let's bring it, that sounds like exactly, we talked about using those funds to help maintain town, to do town,
Yep,
that.
that's exactly what it's there.
It's not road maintenance, it's maintenance on the town property, so let's bring it to the next, put on the agenda for our June meeting,
Okay,
I'm making a note.
and then what the conservation will then recommend to you guys to expend the funds, because I think, I don't know if I don't think conservation can act as, I don't know who the expend the funds is on that fund.
Where's it
I
coming? Is it coming from operating or the trust fund?
It's a trust fund.
Well, they have that, you have a separate account too that's been,
You've got money in the operating.
Yeah.
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 Oh, well, we'll talk about it at the time. I don't think we have enough in the operating to do, if it's $200 a pop 3 times, I think we only have 500 in the operating.
I think you have 5,000 though in your savings.
Yeah, that's in the trust fund.
Yeah, it's not in the trust fund, it's in the savings account.
We'll clarify that at our conservation meeting and come up with a recommendation to go back to the selectmen.
okay, very good, thank you, Frank. All right. Move on. Karen, you have something for us.
Well, I'll speak to the town clerk's office first. The credit card machine will be installed with training tomorrow. And then we'll have full implementation of the over-the-counter credit cards next Tuesday, May 27th. The beach parking passes are available. I've given out 1 so far for all Bay and Cary beaches in Wolfboro. They're for 1 week at a time for parking at those beaches. Currently, there are 195 dogs that have been licensed. I have 34 that are remaining unlicensed and have to be done by June 1st. We sent reminders to all the dog owners. We made phone calls to everyone, and we still have 34 remaining. So I'll do one more group of phone calls, and then people will be at risk for civil forfeiture after June 1st. So just putting a plea out to everyone to license their dogs. Also, there is a vacancy in the town clerk's office. I will be posting the details of the job description, but we'll be recruiting for probably a deputy town clerk. I'm just kind of working out the logistics for what will serve the town the best over the next few years. So if anyone in town is interested, just wants to know about the job, please contact me. I'm happy to sit down and chat a little bit about what it's like to be a part of the team and the work of the town clerk's office. Excuse me. Next week, the office will be closed on Memorial Day, and then Wednesday, I actually have required training for the state. So in lieu of those closures, I will extend the clerk's office hours from noon to 6 p.m. next Tuesday, May 27th only. So I'll be open from noon to 6 on Tuesday because I'll be closed Monday and Wednesday. And once again, regarding the dogs, if people will just call me and talk to me about the dog, if they can't get their rabies shots or whatever, I'm willing to work with people, but we just have to get the dogs registered. So, any questions? Do you want me to wait on my other issue, the Tri-County Cap Connect? You want me to wait or go right ahead?
You're on a roll, keep going.
Okay, I sent the selectmen a proposal for Tri-County CAP to bring their mobile services unit to the town. We actually have an opportunity to be the first town in Carroll County to offer the mobile services unit to our community. What the unit is, actually I have a picture for you so you know what we're talking about. It's actually a van. It's self-functioning. It has offices, air conditioning, internet connections, everything except for our bathroom. And they will actually bring this big van to our town so that townspeople can come and see what services are available at low cost, or what services may be available that they're not aware of. Things like transportation, fuel assistance, childcare assistance, all kinds of services that people may not even know that they're eligible for. So they would bring the van for 2 days. People don't need an appointment, they can walk in, they can meet with counselors, advisors who will help them with the application process. And we would actually, my hope is that we would kind of partner with Wakefield and invite them to come over too and use the services. But it's a big van. We're looking at June 10th and 11th to have it housed here. I spoke with Ed, he suggested maybe out back. But it's a great opportunity to make the resources available to our community. And I think a lot of people just aren't aware of what is out there. They can come and just kind of have an assessment and see what might be available. And like I said, the Tri-County CAP people will assist them with the application process, which is sometimes a stumbling block for people, in addition to making them aware of the resources. So I just wanted to ask the selectmen if you would consider approving the van to come and to provide those services for our community. And then they also do all the marketing and promotions. So I would contact Wakefield to make them aware of it, and I'll work with Amber also, because she probably has a network of people that she could reach out to help promote it. But basically, they'll do all of the professional promotions.
So it's no financial burden to the town at all. It's simply providing them with a footprint for them to set up their facility and service Brookfield and possibly Wakefield. Okay.
June, you said June 10th?
Yes, he suggested June 10th and 11th, and partly we're scheduling now because that will help get people into the winter fuel assistance ahead of time so that they're prepared and it doesn't become an emergent issue. But this is typically their season for applications.
I would just suggest that they maybe park it over in the townhouse, so people see it.
That's an interesting point too. Do people want to be seen walking into the facility knowing that they're trying to get some help or some aid? I don't know, I'm just thinking from a confidentiality standpoint.
It looks like they could park it so the door would be facing in, but you could still see the trailer from the road.
Okay.
So people could like park back there and
All right, so let's
Why don't we just let them pick the spot they want?
exactly what I was going to say. Are we in favor of allowing it?
Sure.
All right, so I'll make a motion that we allow, what do we call them?
It's Tri-County CAP.
Tri-County
Mobile
CAP.
services.
To park their mobile van at the townhouse slash town office area, June 11th, 10th and 11th.
Actually, if I can correct, they might bring it in the night before, so it might
Oh,
come in
okay.
June 9th, and
Ninth,
it might
10th.
be the following morning, but they'll work out that.
Okay. All right, so I've made the motion.
I'll second.
It's been seconded. Any other discussion?
Could I add a comment? As the operations manager at the Wakefield Food Pantry, we get all our USDA food from Tri-County CAP, as well as having them come down at least once a year to tell people also about the fuel assistance and everything else. It's a wonderful program. They're going through a lot of cuts and a lot of hard times, so anything I think we can do to support them would be great. I will tell you that I used to get 130 cases of food from them every month. This month I got 60. So the hits from the federal government are already happening. And what I've heard is that as of July, they will go back to only being able to give us food every other month. So it'll make it even harder. So, but it is a good organization. They do a lot. And that even includes housing as well.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Okay, motion carries. All right, next, Joanne.
I would like to request that we spend $250 for the next module for our software system that would allow me to fill in the column of what we have committed, which would give us a more accurate bottom line available funds. And $250 will be annual fee, and they'll just add it to our program, which I think will make a difference with our budget, especially because we're getting real tight on our budget.
Yeah, I noticed that when I went through it the other day. We didn't.
I think I'd also like to recommend that we kind of freeze our spending unless it's absolutely necessary, because I am worried about our spending.
Yeah, one of the problems we're having with the budget is out of the system, we get it where we stand with expenditures, but it does not show our commitments that we know we're carrying.
Right.
Like we authorized $20,000 for additional paving
Right.
out of the summer maintenance part of the budget. Well, we don't reflect that, so we still think we have that money available. We know we have to make deposits to the trust funds. So we have all these expenditures we know are coming, but they're not reflected. So with this tool,
Right,
we'll have a handle on what's available to manage.
right, correct.
No, I think it's good also in the sense, you made the point that when the budget gets tight and you know that you're going to have to adjust the line items, you don't want to be taking something from a line item that you're already committed to expend. So it helps to clarify it that way too.
Yes.
What items are there that truly are available for
Right.
adjusting the budget?
Right.
So I think it's a good idea.
$250, if you just make a motion and I'll get the software people, we use the software is on the cloud, so it should be immediate when they turn it on.
All right, I'll make a motion that we expend $250
Yeah.
for the
Software,
software upgrade to
the financial software.
financial software system that you're using. Allow us to see commitment or input committed numbers.
Okay. I also wanted to ask, we paid, inclusive in our bills tonight, is Leah went to her conference, and I took it out of the contingency.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Yeah, let's
You want
get a motion.
Okay, sorry.
Wait, that's okay.
Sorry.
Motion's been made, will you get a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded. Any other discussion?
Yes.
What's the, sorry.
Which trying to, go ahead.
Who does the work? Do we have to do something to get this turned on?
No, I'll take care of it.
Ed?
What was the name of the company or the software?
Municipal Resources,
What's the
MTS is the
MTS is the software?
software, yeah.
Thank you.
All set? All right, any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. So go ahead and
Okay,
now.
So I don't usually like to use your contingency amount, but I didn't know where else to take Leah's conference out of. Okay.
Yes. So I'd like to move some money around.
Okay.
I'd like to move some money around in our budget.
Mhm.
And we know that, I want to make a recommendation that we take the money from the town report line. The town report is done. We've got $1,000 left from the town report expenditure. I'd like to make a motion, I will make a motion that we move that $1,000 from town report to selectmen's expenses.
Okay.
And then
Where's
remove,
the town report line? Because we have town meeting expenses. is
that's
that-
it, that's it,
Okay,
that's it.
this one.
That's, most of that was the town report.
So you want me to, yeah, there's $1,000.
$1,000. Take
Okay.
$1,000 from that line and put it on the selectmen's expenses and then put the contingency money back.
Okay,
And take those expenses from Leah into that
Yes.
okay.
account.
So the town report, to selectmen expenses. Okay.
And you please make the adjustment. Then I want to do another one.
Okay.
No, we're just, do you have any issues on that one?
Nope. Sounds good.
All right, good.
You want to vote on that one? You're gonna, I made that motion.
Oh, okay. Motion's been made, I'll second it. Any other discussion? No? All those in favor, oh, excuse me?
I just wanted to know if this would be considered a line item transfer. Can you just state the account number that it's coming out of and the account number it's going to?
Okay. It is going to be coming out of 01-4130-4370, which is town meeting expenses, and it will be going into 01-4130-4705, which is board expenses. Okay?
And the amount of?
$1,000.
Thank you.
Okay, motion's been made. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. What do you get next?
Yeah, we'll do it in non-public.
Okay. You want it today, or we can go into non-public towards the end of the meeting?
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it at the end of the meeting.
All right,
Can I just finish?
do you have anything else?
Well, I want to make you aware, and I have kind of talked to you about it, but NHMA, which is New Hampshire Municipal, is concerned about the state cutting some funding, and our room and meals money is, we anticipate $75,000. They're saying that that may be cut, so we also have the revenue side to worry about in addition to our budget, because the revenue side will affect our tax rate. So we know that. And also, NHMA is doing a workshop tomorrow on background checks. And I think, Leah, you're going to pull it up on the screen for me, and I'll watch. It's an hour, I think. Yeah, 12? Noon to 1, yeah, 12 to 1. If anybody wants to watch that, but...
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Leah?
All right, so at the conference, they did a lot of focus on mental health kind of stuff, employee burnout, stress at work kind of things, since May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I got a few methods of how to reset your brain when you're stressed out, signs of burnout, things like that. A couple things that really caught my attention though is Primex has a whole bunch of trainings for free, or that are included because they're our insurance company, including the Learning Leader series, which offers a different training once a month on topics such as communication, collaborating, productivity, etc., if anybody wanted to take advantage of that. Also, I ended up being in a session with a Londonderry, the acting chief of the Londonderry Fire Department, and he mentioned this program that they have called Londonderry Leadership, which I printed out one of the forms if you guys want to take a look. Long story short, it's basically to teach citizens what exactly the government does, what the budgeting session actually, the budget deliberation, how they actually go, how you determine what money goes where, what kind of things those selectmen do, etc. It's geared towards getting more people involved in local government. So I didn't know if you guys maybe would want to think about doing something like that here. It may be out of our realm. Obviously, we'd have to modify it because Londonderry is a much larger town, but just something to think about. As far as joint loss management goes, I would like to resign from that board since nobody shows up. I spent 3-4 hours yesterday preparing for this meeting that nobody showed up to, even though I reminded everybody several times in the past month. And that's the second one nobody showed up to, and I'm sick of wasting my time and the town's money on meetings nobody's going to come to. It is really upsetting to me that nobody even gives me the common courtesy of saying, oh, I'm sorry, I can't make it. So I sit here alone until 10 past or whatever, and then I give up. I'm not sure what to do about that. I would like to be just done with it.
I understand your frustration, because I know when I was on that, there were many meetings where it was just you and I.
Yes.
And nobody else showed up either.
Party of two is better than a party of one.
That's true, that's true. I believe the RSA says if you're a small enough town, you don't actually have to have that committee.
It's if we have 10 employees or more. So when Karen has a deputy, we have 10 employees. When she doesn't have a deputy, we don't.
And the last count I had was 16.
Yeah.
16 people are being paid as employees.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where we've had trouble drawing the line before too. Who's an employee versus not, because some are elected and some others aren't, and
Elected or not, employees.
Employees, yeah.
But
But-
my conclusion was we're supposed to have the committee.
Isn't it if we have to at least meet quarterly, am I correct?
yes, and we haven't, well, other than me sitting here by myself, it hasn't happened since November.
I was here last.
Yes, you were.
But you're elected.
To be fair, she was
I
here.
was here.
Karen?
I just had a question for clarification, like the composition of this group my understanding was it's an employees group.
Yes,
So
there's supposed to be more employees than there are supervisors on it. So, the meeting in November, when it was you and Rich who came, I don't know that it would be illegal, but it's improper.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 supervisors and then just me,
Right.
as the employee.
I mean, that would include even like Kate, who's my deputy, because
Yes.
she's appointed, she's not elected.
That's correct.
So
Kate and Bob
Bob
and
and
Susan,
Susan,
So,
Jeff.
yeah.
what I suggest, I understand the frustration. I guess what I want to suggest is we accept the resignation, and then quarterly, the selectmen will hold a joint loss management session and invite all the employees. So if someone says to us, you're not complying, we'll say we're trying. And we can hold a meeting and invite everyone to attend, take attendance, and see if we can make it work, but put the burden on us as opposed to.
Because I don't want the town to get fined because we're not sticking to this
Yes, well,
thing.
we
And a bunch of emails saying we strongly encourage just obviously aren't working.
That's right, so why don't we do it?
I think it's a good idea. It alleviates the pressure and frustration that that's probably something they talked about when you talk about burnout. Right?
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah, frustrations. Karen, do you have another question?
I'm sorry, the other thing, in conversations with different staff, they don't have a clue what it's all about, or what that committee is, or what goes on. We had a conversation today where it's sort of a confusing name, a title
Actually,
for it.
even Brad didn't know.
Right, and I'm not sure that it's been communicated what it's all about, so that people really understand what that committee is. And maybe that would be helpful to kind of explain to them.
I mean, joint loss management, you kind
It
of,
doesn't make
Well,
sense.
I'll tell you,
does it?
when I got on board, I was appointed to that committee, so I had no clue what it was. It
Right.
wasn't until I read the RSA before I realized that it's essentially a safety committee. That's essentially what it is. But they want to make it a little more inclusive and talk about property as well as property loss as well as safety, so.
It's about protecting the town's assets as well as the people.
Right.
It's a little more broad than just safety. but-
One of the issues in this town is all the employees are not here 8 to 4, so you're not going to say we're going to meet in the caf for a safety meeting.
Right.
If you ask a person to come in the evening or during the day, they just don't want to do that, so I can see.
So that is the other thing, I tried during the day and that didn't work either.
Yeah, and because people, I used to work for a company with safety meetings. It better be during the day because you had to go.
Right.
that's right.
So why don't we try it? Why don't we try running it? See if we can't pull the people in. Why don't we tell people what it's all about?
Yeah.
And we'll try to schedule a time where people can. Maybe we'll brainstorm. Maybe we can rotate. I mean, on Fridays we get some folks in that office, and then on another day we have folks in this office, and we'll move it around so that people can participate when they're here. We'll try it.
Good luck, guys.
If they're here, you bring them in to a safety meeting.
Kicking and screaming all the way.
That's right.
All right, so thank you for the time and the efforts that you put in. I know that you worked hard on it.
Thank you for accepting my
Yeah.
being done with it. We appreciate that.
So, you had one scheduled for this
Yesterday.
quarter, it was yesterday,
Yeah.
and there's no quorum in something like that, right? So it's not, you had a meeting, attended by one. So we've got to set up for the next quarter, which
But
would be
you never-
sometime in the summer.
You didn't call it to order or anything, because,
No, so the last time when nobody showed up, I did write quick minutes and just said I was the only one here. I waited until whatever time I waited until, and then officially canceled it.
All right,
So I'll probably just do the same thing for this
so
one.
when do you want to try to pull one together? I think the first thing would be to inform the people that work here what JLMC is. Do you have anything that you could write up for us that would give it a brief? Just
I've been
reference it.
struggling with that since I started doing this. Is how do I explain it to people other than saying it's the safety committee but broader? I don't know how else to explain it.
I think we just talk to people. I mean, we have a small handful, right? People we don't see are the issue, like
well,
Kristen, right? We don't see her very often.
no, and Diana,
And Diana,
yeah,
and that's right. So
Bob, Susan,
I see them,
yeah.
I see them. There's some people only come in occasionally.
Or even Eleanor? Yeah, Eleanor cleaning maybe. Also, Amber Marcoux.
Yeah.
Jen, the other cleaner.
Eleanor wouldn't be, she's a contractor, right?
No, she's an employee.
Oh, she is an employee, okay, all right.
Jen's a contractor though,
She's
right?
Jen is, yeah.
All right,
and then-
well, give
so-
us a chance. Give us a chance to figure out how we want to do something on that.
Would you pull Chris in because he's a contractor on the one hand, but he's also the
Timber
timber and gravel monitor, so
So that's
you
right.
got some decisions to
So let
figure
us-
out. It's-
Let us deal with it.
All right,
Thanks.
again, thank you, Leah, and I feel your frustration. I understand it. Okay, anything else then?
No, that's it.
Right, let's see anything else. We do have some old business here. Leah's prepared the unsealing non-public minutes policy. I have had a chance to look at it. She sent it out a while ago. I don't have any issues with what it's saying. You guys have any concerns?
I thought it was pretty clear.
Did I put all the signatures in the right spot this time? All right. Just checking.
So I'll make a motion that we accept the unsealing non-public minutes policy as written.
I'll second that motion.
Right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
So the question is, did we do this? Are we all set?
We are working on it, so we've got the minutes that are unsealed. I've already scanned and photocopied them. I've given archives the originals. I just need to get them posted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, what else have we got? All right, we do have a couple.
What are we going to skip these other ones? We're going to do it at the
What's the equipment?
tables?
Oh, is that the?
So that, well, with that one, we were gonna talk about it in joint loss management.
No, that's all right.
So-
We can do it. We can do it without, I'm ready to do it without it. We're going to rent tables, we're going to let tables go.
Oh, there it is. I couldn't even see which one you were talking about. All right.
Maybe I can at least make a sign-out sheet for
No,
that stuff. or-
I'll let the selectmen talk about it.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, all right, yeah. We'll put it on for the next meeting
Why?
and just let it die on the vine.
No, I want to talk about it. I want to say either we're going to do something or we're not going to do something.
Oh, okay, okay. So what is your recommendation?
Because of the discussion we had and the issue we had with making multiple commitments to take town property out of the town facilities, it would be so much cleaner and easier if we said we just don't do it. Just don't do it. People worry about it coming back broke. People worry about it coming dirty. People worry about, do we get them all? Our policy is, we don't do it. So it's very easy to selectmen say, we don't do it anymore. So when people call, our policy is written, we just don't do it anymore.
Your thoughts?
I mean, I totally don't see the problem in that. If we've done it before, and I don't see having a sign-out sheet, if it comes back ruined, then maybe we do make a contract saying if you damage the property as you take it out, then you need to pay for it and replace it.
In the past, people would say, I'd like to borrow a table or chairs. And we always said, yes. I don't think we said no at all. So please take it out, use them, you're a town resource. Where we got in trouble this time wasn't that they were being damaged or returned dirty. We made multiple commitments for the tables at the same time. Someone called me last autumn and said, I go to the yard sale, I'd like to use some tables. So our policy always been, sure, you can use them.
Right.
So we gave him a handshake, you can use them. And then the Heritage Commission says, I need the tables, the same weekend. Now what do you do?
Who asked first? Who was scheduled first?
I'm going to argue with you a little now, that's the way we do it. But that's a town committee. Should she have to reserve her table 6 months in advance? She wants an ice cream, she's going to have an ice cream social. She's going to need tables. Should she reserve those tables?
No, but did we also discuss that if we want to pull these, let people use them, then they need to request it X amount of time in advance?
We could do that. We could also do that. We could say, we don't take requests within a month. Your request has to be within a month of your request date.
Right.
Because by that time, they'll be sorted out. We can go that way.
If I recall, the example you gave us, I forget the town it was on, they had that kind of a policy, in their policy, they had language like that.
It was Ringe.
Range, yeah. They had looked like that, and they also had some language in there about potential damages. This is what you'll have to pay if you damage a table.
They're charging $200 or something though to rent the stuff to begin with. You get most of it
Yeah,
back when you return it, but
Yeah,
That
I wouldn't
seems
be
hefty.
concerned with that. I'd only be concerned with if there was damage to the property. We're not in the business to make money off it. So which way do we want to go? Do we want to have a policy? Or do we want to say, just don't do it? Right? I gotta just don't do it, and I gotta say,
I say we go with a policy. The commissions know when they have their functions and everything going on. They should know we know what dates everything is going on.
So how do we manage it?
We get a phone call, can we borrow your tables and chairs for this date?
We
Let me
call
know.
you. What's the details of how we manage it? How do we manage it? Who do I call?
Well, you're right. Who do we call? Heritage? Do we call Selectmen?
That's what I'm asking.
should I add it to the wheelhouse under which the townhouse reservations are taken and kept track of? Because I mean, throwing in somebody needs these many chairs on this date wouldn't, I mean, that's
that would
take
be,
all
that
of
would
30
be
seconds.
a good place for it. It keeps it all together.
Yeah.
Are we gonna require that town committees fill out the form? That would just be for the public.
No,
in
just for the
general, right?
public.
Yeah, so.
I do have Mary Lou fill out the townhouse forms just so I can keep better track of the dates she's looking at though. So I'd probably still have them fill out the form just so I can keep track of it properly.
Okay, so we ran into a problem with doing nothing, so I think I'm gonna lean towards the side of let's put put a brief policy together, it doesn't have to be detailed, just submit this form saying you want chairs, it's gotta be within a month of the use date, no sooner.
To the administrative assistant.
Yep. And then it would come to us at the next meeting and say yea or nay.
That you're not giving them enough time. I would say if we're gonna load them and they're available, we don't have to get involved.
Okay.
I mean, once we said we're gonna do it, why would we, why would we say no?
Can we say up to 3 months in advance? Because just knowing how I personally am, if I was planning a party, yard sale, whatever, and I didn't know I had everything secured, no matter how far in advance I'm trying to say, I would panic.
See, that's the issue. That's
With a month beforehand, not knowing I have
Exactly
tables
right.
and chairs, I would panic.
That's exactly right. So if you say it's 3 months,
Up to 3 months, and that's it.
do we know what we're doing in the municipality within 3 months?
I absolutely know.
You know,
I have all the dates.
but
and
Mary Lou didn't
everything.
know for Memorial Day until she just made the announcement, and we're gonna say, no, you can't have a Memorial Day.
She didn't know who to ask.
Think it was easy? See, priority is the town, right? It's the
Yes.
town resource. So if someone wants to,
If they're not being used by the town for function, then they would be available to the public.
Right, which is exactly what we did last autumn. And here we are in May in trouble.
that's right. Now, Mary Lou said she doesn't need them, so that was okay, but we were trying to figure out where we're gonna get the tables. And you get requests a lot of times for resources, don't you? People come and ask,
I mean, I've borrowed them.
see,
I've borrowed.
people, I remember the 4th of July picnic, I need an extra table or two, right?
Christmas.
Christmas, whatever.
Thanksgiving.
So that's the other side. People take a table or two. We've always been supportive of that. We just got trapped on this one. Or we can do this. We do nothing and say, when we get a request, you gotta make your request just closer to the need date. Just don't make it 6 months in advance. Call 3 months in advance. We can do that.
So the call would come in to,
Either a selectman, I mean, I got the call, could be a selectman, can I borrow some tables? Can I borrow some chairs? How many times have we let chairs go,
so
right?
the first question we're gonna ask is, when is your event? And if it's more than 3 months, you don't say, come back later. I think 3 months is a long time. I'd say 6 weeks, 10 weeks maybe.
That's just me.
I think either 6 or 10 weeks is fine.
Yeah, 6 is more than enough.
Yeah.
25 weeks it is.
6 is fine, I'm okay with that, 6 if we're gonna do it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna ask Leah to keep hook on it.
Okay.
And I think that's enough of a policy. 6 weeks, within 6 weeks, call Leah.
Okay. Very good. You're all set with that?
Yeah.
Other than you, Jules? Okay. All right, excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, we do have,
I've got a couple of items later too, on my phone. Go ahead, you can do your thing, just don't close the meeting.
Yep. Okay, what we have here is from our assessor, and it's an abatement request. It's map 2416, and the assessor has approved it, and he's submitting it to us for our approval. And what he's asking for, or what the homeowner is asking for, is question the value of one of the buildings on a piece of property. It's lot 2416.
So there was
And
a
he's-
question as to the value of a,
Yeah, there was a second building on the property, and the assessor was not allowed into that building. So when the individual requested an abatement, the assessor went back in, they allowed him in, and he ultimately agreed that the value he had assessed was too high, based on the condition of the building. So his recommendation is to abate the value of this property by reducing it by $56,400 plus interest, which is approximately $629 in interest. So that the previous assessment was $866,903. The revised assessment would be $810,503. And the assessed abatement is $56,400.
So, let me try to say it differently. The assessed value is coming down 56,400. The abatement is $629.42 plus interest. We're abating,
Okay, you're right.
we're abating interest based upon the reduction in value.
Right, the assessed value is 4,000,
Less.
56,400 less, plus interest, equates to $629.42 plus interest and reduced tax liability.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I'll make a motion that we approve the abatement on map 24, lot 16. Tax abatement would be $629.42 plus interest.
I'll second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There'll be another similar. I'll try to say it right this time.
Group, we're watching.
I know you are. Okay, this is a request for an abatement on map 28, lot 2. And the cause of the abatement is noted as corrected information. So the value, the assessed value was reduced by $309,700 plus interest, which equates to a tax abatement of $3,456.25 plus interest.
can you read the first amount again, the
Yep.
309,000?
Okay, the assessed value was reduced $309,700.
Oh, okay,
Plus
so numbers, thank you.
And all the documentation is here to support what he found. He's got all of his notes in here, and everything seems to be in order. So I'll make a motion that we accept the abated tax amount of $3,456.25.
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
Just, in both these cases, the assessor had to make assumptions not going into the property. And after we did the reval, and people look at their property card, they say the assumptions are incorrect. His reaction is, invite me in to see what you're talking about, and we will adjust if necessary. And that's what happened here.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
That's income.
Okay. No correspondence? I think we're ready for the manifest, unless you want to do your...
Well, I just want
The trustees authorization form,
Oh, is that in
did
here?
you approve that?
Shoot, no, I never got the corrected draft of that, so
Oh, yeah.
make
it's
signers.
not in
right.
there.
So next time?
Yep.
My only comment
Sorry.
was, and it's really short, maybe I need to do it here, we didn't post the audit report on the
I
web.
have that on my, I have the book, the bound book that
Yep.
they sent us.
Yep,
Do you want, everybody want a copy, or what do you want me to do?
just, what do you want to do?
I don't want a copy of it.
Pardon
I
me?
know, I don't want a copy of it, I
Okay.
know where it is.
I believe we have to send one. Do you have to send it anywhere, Karen? No? I think there's one that has to go to the state, but I'll take care of that.
There's a summary letter. We've posted a
Yes.
summary letter in the past.
If you want to, sure.
Well, we have in the past,
Okay.
which highlights where our deficiencies are.
I don't think we posted that.
There's one out
It's
there.
only directed to the Selectmen.
Okay, there's one out there.
It might be, I know which one it is. It's the, okay.
This one we had was 23.
Oh, okay. Where do you want that posted, on the internet, on the web?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think it's under the Selectmen.
Okay. If I give it to you, yeah. Okay. Yep, I'll take care of that.
Other than non-public later.
Okay. All right, let's take care of the manifest, do it.
Okay. Okay, we have payroll, and payroll taxes. I'll read that one first, okay. Oh, you read, oh, no, I read.
I
You want to
checked.
check?
I checked.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you could just read that. This is the payroll taxes that was for this payroll period. There's just one check, it's for the payroll
You
taxes.
could read it, right?
Well, you've got it, so I can't read it.
Oh,
Could you just read the amount?
yes, we're paying payroll taxes of $1,333.82 to the federal government.
Yes. And the payroll manifest is $4,321.96. And I was going to ask if, I'd like to start printing the direct deposit checks on blank paper, so I don't waste the check stock. Is that okay with everybody?
Say it again? You don't use it?
I'd like to print the direct deposit checks on blank paper so that I'm not wasting check stock.
I understand.
Is that okay with everyone?
Did you ever put one? Is all the data there?
Yes, it'll all be the same. It'll be identical, it just won't be the actual check. This is a check.
So does this, for example, say year-to-date on it?
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
year to date.
Year-to-date?
Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
I'll try it. Save the money. Yep, I know checks are expensive, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
okay. So that's the payroll manifest, and there's 2 checks that are live checks, and the rest were direct deposits. I'm waiting for you to finish, that's all. I mean, there's one time sheet.
So,
there.
I'm confused again.
Okay.
So the monthly people are being paid,
This is the end of the month. This is the last pay period of the month, okay? It's bi-weekly.
no, it's monthly.
Well, because you don't want to be paid bi-weekly.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna just shoot.
I want to be paid quarterly. We should take it annually. All right, so what do we do?
I just want you to pass that along for everybody to sign.
So we're gonna pay people $3,821 direct deposit and $500.24 in checks.
Correct. There you go.
And they have to sign this.
Yeah.
We never did that before.
Yes, you do.
No,
Every pay period, you sign.
never made me read them.
Okay.
All right, we're getting paid early.
It's early.
It's early, it's early.
What does,
It's the end of the month.
what does this go with?
That's the direct deposit. It's just, you don't even,
What's today, the 20th?
Friday, this goes into your bank on Friday.
So what is this, you want this there too?
If you wanted to look at it, I only had one time sheet.
Oh,
Okay, it was Leah's. Everybody else is hanging on to theirs until they want to be paid. I'm
oh,
not chasing people anymore.
perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
If they don't turn it in, they don't get paid.
Okay.
that goes with this as well.
Yeah, let me just kind of clip it on the back.
And this goes on there also? What do you want to sign this?
Yes. You ready for the
I don't know.
big? I'm getting Ed back here. Sorry, you're going back.
Okay, now you're gonna read these.
Yes. Okay. Okay, Bartlett Tree Service.
Yep.
$100, and this is, I believe, a monthly, or I don't know how often
They're
they do
gonna
this.
change to twice a year.
Okay, so it was $100, and they do tree, I don't know what they do exactly. It says here, collect a sample from the following plant and location. I don't know. A soil analysis, I'm not really sure what they did.
But
That's who,
went
that's
to
who
the
uses,
cemetery.
It's
that's
at the
who
new
uses the
cemetery.
cemetery.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay, so they did soil sample this time.
okay. Carroll County Registry of Deeds, $58.47.
Yes.
This is the central fence and deck. This is the deposit, we have to pay for $3,057.50 that we will hopefully get reimbursed by
Their insurance company.
their insurance
But
company.
it's gonna go into the general fund.
Yes. It'll. Charter Communications, $99.98. Eastern Materials, $1,896 for gravel.
Looks like a dirt bid.
Yeah. Eversource, we have two, one for $160.13. Is that what you're at?
On the bottom here, I have one here for what?
$160.13.
Yes.
And $25.71.
Yes.
Why do we get two Eversource?
One is for the light at the salt shed.
Oh, sure.
It's just the light. Interware Development, this is for the town clerk. It's Clerk Works and Red Book and State Data. Yeah. $1,942. It's annual. Kindle Construction, I have two. One for $5,475 and one for $7,282.50.
These numbers are in the spreadsheet you sent us.
Yes. I don't know if anybody wants to know what he was doing, but he was working on rebuilding the end of the road on Tucker and I believe grading gravel to Lyford and Tumbledown Dick. Okay, Leah Gage, $550 for the conference at the Mount Washington. And Leah Gage for $23.18 for paper towels and office supplies. Mitchell Municipal Group, I have 3. And I've kind of been, I've only been using the planning board and the selectmen's line for the legal because it looks like they overlap. Or is it all planning board? How do you want me to?
You saved the details, right? Because sometimes we sue to get the money back.
I have the invoices have the details.
Yes, so you saved those invoices. If we sue to get the money back,
Yeah.
we have
pull
to,
them.
yes.
Okay. All right, so there's one for $179. That's the, do you guys want to look at these? Anyway. And then there's one for $2,995.62. That relates to Moose Mountain. This one is for Brookfield General for $552.76.
Just a second, please.
Yeah.
I missed that one, okay.
$552.76. Okay. This is for the New Hampshire Tax Collectors Association, $40 for Diana and Rose.
I see $140 check.
Yeah,
Okay.
$40. I'm sorry. Plodzack and Sanderson, this is the balance that we owe for the audit of $2,300. White Mountain Oil and Propane, $295.52.
That was for actual
That,
propane.
that audit is final payment.
Final, yeah.
I don't know if we ever got the boiler cleaned the second time.
We did,
Oh, we did get it clean?
I think, unless they were scheduled to be here Thursday
They
morning.
were.
They were?
They did it, yes.
And we haven't gotten a bill for that yet.
That comes to $27,033.37. You want to talk about the legal fees being wrong in this town?
What do you mean?
Well, our legal fee, I'll say it, our legal fees are high because the town is being sued by the Moose Mountain,
Oh, okay, I got you.
by Moose Mountain because of planning board activity. So we're spending a lot of money fighting that case.
And our insurance company is involved, right? So,
That's for the other case.
Oh.
There's multiple cases going on, but the one that we're eating is the Moose Mountain one.
What's the other case?
It's a zoning violation. We took action on that, but that's not gobbling up money the way the Moose Mountain cases.
Is that the $179 bill?
Pardon me?
Is that the 179 bill that you said first?
I suspect there's no activity on that. It is very sporadic.
179 was on ditches.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was for
That's the,
yes.
Okay, let's start signing.
So I'll make a motion that we accept the invoice as read.
I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Keep them together.
Great. So when do you think the software will be available? You don't know, do you?
tomorrow,
For $250.
probably tomorrow. I mean, I think he just has to turn it on.
And then you have to populate the data. So I wanted to talk about the records committee. Given that I've attended a meeting, and I've lived through a meeting. I'm coming. I think there's one more.
Page. The two paychecks were on the bottom.
What were they? They were invoices?
Yeah.
I didn't recognize they were different.
They don't have 3 signature lines on the payroll.
But you still need all the
I
signatures.
do.
It's tough.
So I should point out too that The girl who was cleaning the townhouse, we've already used 3 times. And
Yes.
we only budgeted 500.
Yes,
Okay, just point that out.
yes, it said 5, we used 2. Yes, we did.
Yeah. We've used 3. She's cleaned 3 times, right?
Twice, I think.
I think it was
it's twice.
200, 300 left. Not that I
Oh,
remember.
okay, maybe,
Maybe I
yeah.
don't remember.
Let me look.
Could be wrong. It's under selectmen. wasn't
No,
it?
it's townhouse cleaning. There's only $200 left.
200 left.
Yeah, we used it 3 times. And we have some, we cleaning it every time.
Just about. Now we're gonna have it, the ice cream, and then we're gonna have that, okay.
I don't know that there'll be a need to clean for this. That's all
We
I'm
didn't
saying.
clean after the mushroom thing or the potluck because I made the mistake of scheduling her to clean just before the potluck. So.
Right. And then when you cleaned it after my presentation,
Yes, it was cleaned after yours.
but that was the second event.
Right,
So something was done before that, you didn't clean it, and then after mine.
right. I am keeping an eye on it. Like right now, it looks pretty good over there.
And they're doing yoga? Are they doing yoga? And we don't clean after yoga.
Right.
We mop it ourselves. Oh.
So I'm talking about records committee. Can I talk about records committee? Sure. So we started the selectment process. And we had multiple committee members here, and they were very helpful, but in my opinion, that they were taking their valuable time watching us sort documents. And I wonder if we can't just do that type of work without the records committee present.
Yeah.
And get going on all the various projects. I don't think the planning board has even started. I don't know where the ZBA is. I don't know where,
ZBA is done.
Really?
Yeah, planning board,
really. Now, what do you find? So maybe we have a disconnect on what's done is. What's done to me means you've identified the records, and there's a process in place to dispose of them properly.
Yep.
Have they done that?
yeah, they've been disposed of. And what was retained was given to Craig for the archives.
Excellent.
And he was going to review what was in the archives, and if what we gave him was a duplicate, he was gonna throw that away.
Excellent.
So
And there were no other extra documents the ZBA was going to keep?
none.
Okay. Planning board, do you think the planning board's done?
No, the planning board, we went through, got rid of duplicates, and we also gave Craig a sizable stack to look at, to say, these, per the RSA, need to be kept, per the RSA, and weren't subjective or selective, but we didn't know if there was in the archives already. So
So
Craig,
they had received in the archive.
if Craig didn't have one in the archives, he should have saved one of what we gave him for the archive. But they haven't gone through the process of saying, what else do you want to keep?
There's not a lot in those files,
The
the planning board ones.
Yeah, I mean, when we started, that's what Abby did for us last year. When we started that, you couldn't open the drawer. They had 3 of them, I think, were like that. Couldn't open the drawers because it was so full. Now that it whittled it down quite a bit.
Okay, excellent. What other committees have to be, or what other departments have to be addressed? We did assessing, we're working the selectmen. We got 1, 2, 3 people here that have to do theirs.
I haven't done mine.
What other ones do we have to do? Can you get with this?
Heritage hasn't been done.
Heritage has not been done?
Heritage, timber monitor,
Excellent.
supervisors of the
So,
checklist.
Heritage, you're the heritage rep, right?
Yes.
They got to go through this process of sorting through their records, right? This record committee, we're obligated to save some records per the RSA. And we got a spreadsheet saying you have to save these, and that's pretty clear. You have to save these. But if there are other records, they have to identify that we want to save, and you're going to have to help them with that. And you do the conservation, and I'll have to do the cemeteries. There's a whole host of these little ones that don't have a lot of documents that we have to make sure we're saving their documents. Right.
Conservation is done. That's what I said earlier. That one is done.
ZBA?
Conservation is ZBA.
They're both done? Okay. So we're going to do heritage, and cemetery.
Trustees of the
Finish
trust.
planning.
Trustees of the trust fund, who's that? Who, that you?
That's
Me.
me.
Oh.
Trustee of the trust fund. And then we can get this thing moving along, right?
They don't store their records here, though, do they, trustees?
I think they got,
Do they?
oh, I'm thinking
I
supervisors of the
I would
checklist in
think
the
they
back.
should.
They should. I
So
don't-
if they don't, maybe that's a,
Yeah, I'm not sure they do in here.
I think they do, when I was on it, they save the year-end report, they're required to save the year-end investment report. So I think they do, but that's gotta be confirmed.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
I did want to just clarify one thing for the assessor meeting and for the selectmen's meeting. The reason there were several people from the committee here was because we're still trying to learn how it will be done and understand. And just for clarification of your process, like, yes, if it's on the RSA, the determination is made for us, but does your department feel that that could be extended a little bit farther? Like the RSA is the minimum requirement, does your department determine that you need to keep something longer? But also just a reminder that if it's not on the RSA, we have to document it and add it to our list.
So do you guys want to be at these meetings?
Well, we have a representative on the selectmen's now, because you're on the
Yes.
committee, so you can handle that committee. It
But
was
what
more
about
of a
the other
learning
committees?
experience.
Do you want to go to those meetings?
There's a committee person that's assigned to each department,
Okay.
so that person can assist. But if that committee or department has developed their process,
Yes.
then they're fine. I mean, that is up to them to continue it and to monitor it. And then we can check back with them at regular intervals. And that's the part we're sort of sorting out yet, like what will be the follow back time period. But it's kind of, we're just there to help you all determine what works for your committee.
Okay.
Did I
So
make
I think,
sense?
I think, if I can summarize, I think we got 3 that are done. I think 1, 2, conservation and ZBA, and assessing are done. They met with you, and I think they've identified everything they have to do there, right? I think.
I think so. I'm not sure, like, were there any other things in conservation or planning board, or ZBA rather, that we need to add to our list?
No, both of those two, no. Planning
Okay.
board has not been
Okay.
reviewed for that yet.
So there's no additional documents or records that they want to keep outside of what's on the RSA? That's great.
Well, it's good. We got 3 that are done, right? And we're gonna work, we'll start working the other ones in parallel.
Speaking of which, you two guys still have a pile of stuff on top of the filing
I
cabinet. in
tried
there.
twice. I started twice, I had it out here and spread out. I got through this much. So, yeah, I'm aware of it.
Maybe you-
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
That's all, thank you.
Saturday, gonna start looking at it.
All right, now we wanted to go into non-public?
Let's wait 2 weeks. We'll have better data in 2 weeks. We'll have better data in 2 weeks on the budget.
Okay. So we'll wait for 2 weeks?
We'll wait 2 weeks, then it's gonna be a budget review.
Okay, so we'll put a agenda item in, and as far as,
We'll have better data.
yeah,
Hopefully.
Tomorrow, you said.
I don't even know. It should be. I mean, I don't know. I talked to him today, so.
That was
is
it.
it gonna be under H?
I was thinking it's gonna be under A.
A?
What do you think? We'll pick one, we'll find one.
Okay.
If we have to do it, we'll do it.
Okay. Is there any other matters to bring before the board at this time?
You're going into non-public, right?
No, we're not. We decided
You're
not.
not.
It's skipping it.
No,
Is
no,
it something about budget? You're gonna talk about budget in non-public?
Budget's public,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yes, I just thought you said before, I'm gonna go into non-public, and you said, come on, we can get better data for that budget.
No. You're listening.
why we have Ed here, to keep
All
us.
right, we'll figure that out before we get into it next time. All right, no other issues, I will call the meeting adjourned,
7:34.
7:34. How did you get meetings done in an hour?
My advice to you when you're going through that stuff, I have some colored sticky notes and I
That goes back to Leah.
just slap on whatever color, either stuff you want to keep or you want to get rid
They're
of.
frustrating.
Let me see that.
So that the next one down the line